BMW's 6 Series Gran Turismo brings SUV, large estate and luxury saloon qualities to a package that offers executives something very different. There's nothing quite like it.
So what's BMW's idea of Gran Turismo motoring? Well, this is a big car, there's no doubt about that. That's something that's certainly obvious when you're in town or when manoeuvring. You feel more at one with it though than was the case with the previous 5 Series GT. That's despite the fact that overall length has now risen to well over 5 metres. It feels less cumbersome through the corners too than that older model. Losing 115 kilos in weight will do that for you. BMW tells us that under the skin, this 6 Series GT uses a mixture of parts from the 5 and 7 Series models that it sits alongside in the showroom. The majority of these are from the 5, the standard air-sprung rear suspension from the 5 Series Touring, for example. But it's the heftier 7 that, perhaps more predictably, this GT more closely resembles in terms of its road-going demeanour. When it comes to engines, the majority of buyers will be choosing between a couple of 6-cylinder units, either the 340 bhp petrol unit fitted to the 640i derivative, which gets BMW's xDrive 4-wheel drive system as standard, or more likely the 265 bhp diesel we're trying here in this 630D variant, which offers xDrive as an option. There is also a rear-driven 258 bhp 630i petrol version with 4-cylinder 2-litre power, and you can additionally talk to your dealer about an entry-level 620D diesel or a novel 640E petrol-electric plug-in hybrid. As for this car's dynamic attributes, well, thanks to its size, weight and height, it can't be as agile through the corners as some of its executive segment Gran Turismo rivals. However, you can improve things by spending more. We would recommend the adaptive 2-axle air suspension system, which adds front air suspension and the ability to vary ride quality via the various drive performance control driving modes. If you want to go further, there's integral active steering that gives you rear wheel steering, and if you have that, then an executive drive package can be added, which will give you automatically adjustable anti-roll bars to reduce cornering body lean. With all this kit fitted, this car really does feel very 7 Series-like. It's certainly supremely refined. If the old 5 Series Gran Turismo model had served up styling looking a little more like this, there's little doubt its sales performance would have been transformed. Now, it didn't, and in many ways it couldn't, thanks to the need for an unusually high roofline to satisfy the designer's insistence that the rear seats should be raised 30mm above those at the front. All the chairs are at the same level this time around, so vehicle height is down by 21mm, while the rear end has been lowered by 64mm. It further helps that this 6 Series Gran Turismo is 87mm longer than before, and that creates a sleeker, more rakish shape. Once in the cabin, you'll find yourself sitting a little higher than you would in an equivalent 5 or 7 Series model, and that delivers at least some of the imperious feel that you get at the wheel of the company's X5 luxury SUV. Ahead of you is a dash layout that's much as it would be in a 5 Series, which means it's very sophisticated. Virtual dials cosset your eyes through this beautifully tactile 3-spoke wheel, while at the top of the centre stack lies a big 10.25-inch colour iDrive screen that welcomes you on first name terms to the 6 Series Gran Turismo driving experience. Now, those may be the first thing you notice, but shortly after, you'll be struck by the sheer quality of what's on offer here. All the materials used, even those lower down, feel great to touch, with proper leather and metal finishing that feels very special indeed. Time to take a seat in the rear, as at the front the doors are frameless and they open to reveal a wide, tall aperture that doesn't require you to duck your head on entry, as is the case with quite a few other Gran Turismo style models. Once inside, it really is very spacious indeed, with far more room than you get in a 5 Series or in a directly comparable Mercedes CLS or Audi A7 Sportback rival. In a way, that's what you expect. After all, this car is now over 5 metres long, and it has exactly the same wheelbase length as a boardroom segment, a BMW 7 Series model from the next class up. Finally, let's take a look in the boot. Standard trunk space has now increased by 110 litres to 610. BMW says you can get 4 full-size golf bags in here without having to flatten any seats, and we can believe that. If you need more room, then your first option is to take advantage of the standard 40-20-40 through-loading split fold for the rear bench that enables longer items like skis to be pushed forward between a couple of rear-seated occupants. If you need more space than that, then you'll need to activate these seat retraction switches on either side of the load area. Do that, and as much as 1,800 litres of space can be freed up. That's even more than you'd find in a BMW 5 Series Touring Estate. In summary, you could argue that rival Audi A7 Sportback and Mercedes CLS models more stylishly fulfill the Gran Turismo remit. That's probably true, but those cars are also less spacious inside and slightly more expensive. Certainly this 6 Series GT will give competitors like that far more to think about than its predecessor ever did. And if you were already looking at a BMW X5 SUV or the brand's 5 Series Touring Estate, then we think you should test this model before deciding. Like the car it replaced, it offers a different way to go, but this time around, that's a good thing. Try one. You'll see what we mean.